Hey, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I really want to talk about the concept of failure, especially within the context of being an entrepreneur. Because the thing about being an entrepreneur is that you're going to fail, like a lot, right? It's pretty much your baseline. But the trick to be successful at it is to not let it trigger you so much, or to at least be able to manage your emotions when you do feel triggered by your failure in a way that's healthy and actually productive for your business. So I'm going to share with you an experience that I just realized happened to me in my business during the first half of this year. And if you're new here, hey, I'm Liz, business coach for Black women and women of color. And if you're returning, you might notice that I am in a different location. I moved. Yay! I'm still getting settled in, so excuse the mess that's behind me. You can't see it, but I'm basically sitting on an avalanche of crap. The joy of camera angles. Let's get started. So first, a recap of the first 6 months of this year. So I've been offering one-on-one coaching for the first half of this year, and I realized that I was getting sales calls of people who were interested in my program, but they didn't really seem like a good fit at the time. And I was wondering, well, maybe there's something wrong with my marketing. Like there's just something that's off here. Like it just doesn't seem like I'm communicating to my community, to my audience in a way that I really want to. And I just kept thinking that I need to fix my marketing. There's something wrong with my marketing because it just wasn't looking like how I had imagined it. Like when people were coming to me for help, they weren't really coming to me in a way that had made sense in my mind, like what they wanted versus what I was communicating that I could help them with. I was missing the connection. It was throwing me all the way off. I've always been a super planner. It's a problem. I'm working on it. We'll talk about that in this video. So when all this was happening, I just kept having a one-track mind of there must be something wrong with my marketing. It's not working. You might be in a similar place where maybe you're thinking something's wrong with your marketing and you don't think it's working because either one, people aren't booking sales calls with you, or two, maybe they are, but for some reason they just consistently don't seem like they're the best fit for your program. It never occurred to me that maybe the problem isn't so much that my marketing isn't working or that the people who are coming to me for help aren't the right fit. Maybe the problem is that in my mind, I'm solving for a problem that doesn't exist. Or really, I'm solving for a problem in my mind that isn't really the problem that people have or that they think they have. There's a big difference here, especially if you are someone who likes things to make sense. If you like things to be in their proper place, if you think, 2 + 2 should equal 4, and you're just like, it's not making sense. I assure you there's something else happening underneath the scenes. So I'm going to share the 3 things that got me to finally see the truth of what was actually happening, to actually learn from my experience through the first half of this year, and has now left me so flippin' empowered and ready to take on the last half. I assure you this will serve you deeply. First, I kept going. I did not stop, even when it felt like things were not working, when people were contacting me or they were not contacting me. I still kept pushing through, but not in like a hustly, gross kind of tiring way, but really in a way of just being committed to my business and being committed to what I wanted to see in this world, which was more Black women, more women of color owning successful, thriving businesses that actually support you, support your family, support the dreams that you have in this world, and let you leave your 9-to-5 jobs. But what this also meant is that I had to start getting really comfortable with discomfort. I mentioned this a little bit in one of my earlier videos about how uncertainty is normal in entrepreneurship, but you really don't understand it until you are in the thick of it. When it feels like you're going 100 miles in the wrong direction, right? Get comfortable with discomfort still. Even if you feel like you don't know what's going on, you're not 100% sure if things are working, keep going. Because even if you're unsure, all of the value that you're putting into the world, all of the free service that you're offering, it's still building relationships. It's still helping people and serving them deeply, even if you're still not making that final connection of sales. So keep going through the discomfort, because you can do 1,000 things wrong, and that is always going to get you closer to doing the thing that is right for not just you, but also for your community. So during this time of just keeping up with creating value, of building relationships, of offering to help people, I also decided that it was important to work on my other skills for my business. So for one-on-one coaching, I wanted to make sure that I was continuing to develop my skills for coaching. Also developing my skill in sales, which is completely different from marketing. They're two different things. And I was able to develop both of these skills tremendously over the past 6-7 months of this year. And that in turn infused into my marketing and made it even more fun, made it even more effective. So that leads us to number 2. So first, keep going. Don't stop, even when it feels like things aren't working. Keep going. Number 2, develop skills along the way, skills that make sense for you in your business. If you want to be a coach, work on your coaching skills, work on your sales skills. Get free clients so that you can practice this stuff. Work with a coach so that you can work on your sales skills and continue to improve. If you're in consulting or creating courses, work on the knowledge that you're bringing and how you're connecting the dots for people to really help bring them that transformation that they're looking for. All of this work is going to make the process of serving your paid clients deeply even easier, even more fun. So during that time, instead of being really demoralized by not seeing the sales that I was expecting to come in, I managed my thoughts and I was able to make sure that I still focused on the other aspects of my business that I knew I wanted to work on. So do the same. And that leads us to 3. The third thing that helped me to really change the corner and really understand that I had missed out on 10K of sales was time. Time, distance away to really be able to digest everything that I've learned, to be able to digest everything that I was experiencing, for my inner wisdom and my brain to connect the dots within me and really open my eyes to what had happened and why it felt like things weren't working. Now, this is why it's super important, and I say all the time, it's important to not start self-shaming yourself because you feel like you should be farther along than where you are. Because if you're self-shaming yourself, then you're not creating space for creativity. You're not creating space for you to actually digest in a safe space, in a place of comfort, like what has happened, like what has actually worked. And really start thinking about, the things that didn't work, why didn't they work? But from a place of openness. And I share this on my Instagram, so if you're not following me over there, make sure that you do, because I definitely drop good tidbits like these throughout the week. But the way that you know that you are learning from things that didn't quite go as expected in a way that is not self-shame is when you look back on those missed opportunities and you get excited because you know from hindsight, now you know that when this happens again in the future, you know exactly what to do. You know exactly how to make it work for you the next go round. And when it comes to business, it's just like compounding views on YouTube. The more value you put out into the world, the more your network begins to expand. The more people learn about you and the more people that are attracted to what you say, because you know that you have value and you know that you can help so many people. So that is compounding. That's how businesses grow. That's how they've always grown since pre-capitalism times. This expansion, this network of people who come into contact with your work. And so now, from this place of expansion and excitement of developed skills, I am now in a position to take better advantage of any new people coming my way. I can serve new clients so much more deeply. I can now take into my reviews of, what I'm doing and where I'd like to improve by removing the self-shame and really going into a place that is in alignment with growing my business the anti-capitalist way, the anti-hustle way, and just doing it from a place of love for the work that I want to do. Take that with you as well. So make sure that when you're looking back on the past 6-7 months of this year, that you think about where you could have done things differently. Get curious about where it felt like you had fallen short, but don't do it from a place of self-shame. So when you review, what you've done over the past 6-7 months of this year, you'll start to explore it from possibility. Instead of exploring it from the avenue of I did this right and I did this wrong, explore it from the perspective of I did this right, and here's how I could have done this even better. We're trying to get rid of that either or thinking that messes us up. We're trying to move into expansion and possibility, into both and thinking, because that really helps you to get curious and see a completely different side of things. When I was in the thick of it, this is why time is so important. When I was in the thick of it, it just seemed like I was doing something wrong, and I just kept doing something wrong. Instead of now looking back, I'm thinking, I now know, I was just thinking too narrow. I was being too rigid in my understanding of how I could help people and the types of things that people needed help with. So now from this place of expansion and openness, I can see, wow, I literally could have made 10K this year. And the great thing about being in business is that these things happen again. Like, you get another chance. You get multiple chances. Like, the chances for do-overs are never ending. So that really just filled me with expansion and possibility. And I know it'll help you if you're in a place where you feel like things are not working, like you're trying everything and it's not working. There's just something that you're missing. Definitely get a coach. Get your mind coached so that you can start thinking about things from a different perspective and really expanding and opening your mind. We get so attached to our perfect plans, how we think things are supposed to look and how things are supposed to go, even though we're dealing with humans and we know that that's never how humans operate to begin with. We get so attached to these things, and then it isn't until we let them go that we start to see, oh, wait a minute, there's possibility in here. Or this is messier than I thought, but in a good way, right? So I have spots available in my one-on-one coaching program. If you are ready to ditch the perfect plans that aren't working and start making some visionary money in your business, I would be so delighted to have you join me in September. Use the link in the description box below to make sure that you apply. Let me know if you have any questions about today's video or about anything that we talked about. I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to send me a DM over on my Instagram page. Again, I definitely would love to hear from you. And I'm going to continue to experiment with this background and figure out what I like, what I don't like, which areas get the best lighting. There's like non-stop mowing of lawn, like hours on end. I don't even know what they're mowing anymore, but we'll get through. We will get through this. We'll figure it out. Evolution, growing pains. That's how it works. I'll see you later. Bye.